I'm going to show you a hack to solo over any song using skills that you already have. You're actually not going to be needing any music theory for this lesson either. Yes, this is very exciting. I know. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Dion. I'm the founder of 52 Week Guitar Player, established in 2019. And we help intermediate level guitar players become better improvisers. Now let's get down to business. First, we need a chord progression to solo over. Can I get a chord progression, please? If your goal is to create nice and melodic sounding guitar solos, you've got to know what you're playing over. This is not an optional thing. So the progression that we're going to be working with is C sharp minor, B, A, and E. Now, you could just play the C sharp minor scale over that and be fine. Think of that style of soloing as one specific flavor. But another flavor that many intermediate level guitar players don't consider is simply playing the notes of the chords. So the first step here would be making sure that you indeed know how to play those chords. Done. Easy. The next step here is using the individual notes of those chords to create melodies. We'll start by just doing this with the C sharp minor chord. Consider this level 1. Check it out. For level 1, we just want to focus on not getting lost. As soon as that C sharp minor chord sounds, it's showtime, motherfucker! Fun fact! This style of practice is also a form of ear training because you're forced to listen and wait for that C sharp minor chord. It's the only minor chord in the progression, so that should give it away. If not, get off the cigarettes! Let's move on to level 2, which would be adding the notes from the B chord. B for Brandon. Can we hear that, please? It's all coming together now. If you're a bit more advanced, you probably found those first 2 levels to be incredibly easy. So for level 3, we're gonna play the notes of all the chords in the progression. And to keep things interesting, I'm gonna play 4 choruses this time. By the way, a chorus is just a full cycle of the chord progression. I'll switch between using chord tones in the minor pentatonic scale. This way, you'll be able to clearly hear each flavor. Check it out. You've probably noticed that this is pretty basic shit, but it sounds quite nice, and you already know this stuff. You already knew how to play the pentatonic scale, and you already knew how to play bar chords. The next level up from here would just be repeating this entire process in a different position on the fretboard. Let's do that for level 4! So this means we have to figure out how to play the chord progression somewhere else. So thinking rationally about this, where might you be likely to play a C sharp minor chord? Probably here. Then you'd play B here, A here, and E here. Here's a thought. Why don't we try soloing using those chords? Okay, this is clearly working well, but we can still do better. I mean, we can always do better. Guitar progress doesn't just end. And if you ever feel like you're slow to make progress, just remember, you're likely gonna be playing guitar for your entire fucking life. It's okay to spend a few weeks on this stuff versus moving on to something new because you couldn't get this perfect in a week. Almost all of you guys could really benefit from this perspective. Everybody just wants things to happen fast and instantly. Not how it works. This way of thinking really pisses me off, but I'm not even mad. But back to our chord progression. What's an actionable step that we can do to make our soloing better in this new position? How about adding another pentatonic position? Genius! It would also make sense to pick a pentatonic shape that's already in the neighborhood where we're soloing. Since we're in the key of C sharp minor, we can play this pentatonic shape here. you want to learn more about pentatonic shapes, I made a 40-minute masterclass video that goes super in-depth on them. Now, since this may be a new pentatonic shape, you will have to spend some time repping it. But up until now, you've already known everything that we've already talked about. A little bit of new information never hurt anyone. That is, unless you're a bitch! Now let's hear an example using that pentatonic shape mixed with the chord tone approach. Big fun in the sun. That backing track I was using is called Textbook Solo. If you want to download that track and get the play along video that I've been using throughout this lesson here to practice what I've been showing you, you can get it along with 26 other super high quality backing tracks for just $1. Now, we could end the video here, but to make sure you really understand this stuff, let's go over another example. This track will be slightly faster, so consider this level 5. Here I have the chord progression of C minor, E flat, B flat, and A flat. Let's break things down. First, we have to be able to play the chords. Done! It's perfectly reasonable for you to just practice over 1 to 2 chords in this progression like we did at the start of the video to get comfortable. Once you get that down, off to the races, baby! This chord progression is in the key of C minor, by the way, which means that the C minor pentatonic scale is also fair game. So I'm going to play another example where I trade choruses with chord tones and the pentatonic scale. But this time, I'm also going to introduce passing tones. So when I'm using the chord tones, between each chord, I'll put a passing tone. Passing tones don't have to be in key, since we're only playing them in passing. They're not held for very long. So if you want to be able to improvise over your favorite songs, just go through this process with the chord progression of that song. Understand that things don't happen overnight and there's no need to freak out if you don't get this stuff immediately. We play guitar for our whole life. It's not like boxing or going to the club to get lit. You don't do those things your entire life. If you want to get real feedback on your improvising so you can know if what you're playing is right or wrong, consider enrolling in 52-Week Guitar Player. Imagine having a pro player to give you feedback on your improv right there where you're sitting right now. Feedback is guaranteed in this program. You can give feedback by posting a video of yourself improvising in the group or by attending one of our 5 live stream Zoom calls that happen every week. You can speak directly to myself or another pro. This way you can have confidence in your playing since you're in good hands. On top of all that, we have a highly organized lesson curriculum that will tell you exactly what to practice, when to move on, and why you're doing it. The curriculum builds on itself and solves your problem of having no structure. 52-Week Guitar Player is currently closed for enrollment until mid-June, and we only accept 100 new students every time we open. Sign up to the waiting list now! And if you're watching this video after June ends, you should still sign up to the waiting list because we'll be opening again obviously in the future, and the link to sign up will be the same. So go ahead and do that and just leave!